Our next step is to once again click Provisioning. Since we're constructing a NAS solution here, we'll need to create a share. Click the Share button in the bottom part or the Create Share icon in the flowchart in the top part of the screen. Click the Share icon in the lower part of the screen. The Share screen appears. We'll create a common internet file system by clicking the CIFS Windows or /Mac tab at the top left of this screen. Click Create. The Create CIFS Share wizard appears. Click the three dots next to the File System text box to select the file system we created earlier. Select your file system from the list and click OK. Enter a share name in the Share Name text box. Hover your mouse over the question marks explaining the options Uplock and Notify and read the explanations. Once you've read these, click Next. Now we're going to step 2 of 4, Set Permissions. In this part of the wizard, you can enter the users and permission levels for your share. Click Add. The Add User/User Group window opens. If you've already created users or user groups, click the Find button. The Add User window will open. From the list, you can select the existing users you wish to add to this share by ticking the checkboxes in front of them. Or you can use Create to add your users, as we will describe to you in the next steps. Also, in this window, you can set the permissions your users and user groups may have to this share. Note that you can also implement Active Directory into the authentication process. Creating new users. In the Add User Group window, from the drop-down menu next to the User Group text box, select Local Authentication User Group. Click Create. The Local Authentication User Group window appears. Enter a name for your Local Authentication User Group. You can write down a description in the description box. This helps identify your user group. Once you've done this, click OK. The execution result window appears, telling you your operation of creating a user group was a success. Click OK. Back in the Add User/User Group window, create a user by selecting Local Authentication User from the drop-down menu. Click Create. In the Local Authentication User window, enter a username. Once you've done that, enter a password and confirm this password. After you've entered a valid password, click the three dots next to the Primary Group text box. In the Select Primary Group window, select the NAS user group you've just created. You'll see the group appear in the Primary Group text box. Click OK. The execution result window appears, telling you your operation of creating a user was a success. Click OK. In the User Authentication window, under the Local Authentication User tab, you'll see the user appear which you've just created. If you've already created users or user groups, click the Find button. The Add User window will open. From the list, you can select the users you wish to add to this share by ticking the checkboxes in front of them, or use Create again to add your users as described before. Note that you can also implement Active Directory into the authentication process. After you've completed the Set Permissions part, click Next. The summary window appears, showing you the major parameters for the share you're creating. Click Finish. Step 4 is the execution result message, showing you that your operation of creating a share and adding users to it was successful. Click Close. In the Share window, you'll see the share you've just created appear in the list. These are all the steps to be taken in your Ocean Store Device Manager. Now we'll have to create a mapping to the share in our Windows operating system. To further practice this lab, please continue to the next block.